frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like.
All right, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first down is Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Carr now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
Well, we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
That is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get, and then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 2nd and 12, Carr. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Carr now on first down. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Carr now to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Down. You ready? Mike's 59. Hey, watch the slam. You're mine. Mike.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Mixon. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
First down, Jacksonville.
Set, ready, 10 logo.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Jaguars.
Come on, set. 15, line it. 15 line. Defense, keep it up, guys.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Second down.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Set up, 50, plant. Watch the screen. Snap.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. But they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught by Evans. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
A 2-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 27-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Jaguars 7, Buccaneers nothing.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
Now! 10 to the mic. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 9. 280.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 44-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Shotgun now for Carr. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. Fights through and now a crease. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Carr now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Down. 185. 59. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And who got touched?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Carr. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Right back to him on 1st down. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Hey, Raider 2. Mike 59. Mike Smith. I'm coming.
Now Carr. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Ready up.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Check 31. Check 4.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll look to throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Young Trip is here, baby. Young Trip is here.
It's a gain of 19.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll throw now on the final play. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 16. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime.
59, Mike. 59, Mike. Check, 59. Bravo. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. 694. Twist. Mike's 5'9".
The final shot here before half for Carr. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Gets through and now an opening. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. Now, special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He's got him in, complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 42 yards.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Carr. He's got this one complete to Perriman. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Carr Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Bradley Pena now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over.
He's got daylight. He's at the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Joe Mixon, 79 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 40-yard line.
Check, 59. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Carr completes it, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter.
Check, 59. 180. 180, we're good, we're good. 180. 734. 59 mark, check.
On first down, Carr. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw, it's Carr. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Watch the run, later one.
Throwing now is Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Hey, echo.
From the gun, Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Carr's pass, intended for Mike Evans, incomplete. Brings up 4th down and...
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board.
They're not ready for this.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
They're really what the 4-minute offense is.
Stephon Diggs, 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Stephon Diggs, 79 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Carr now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Flush to his right. Airing this one out for Evans. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well.
First down.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator. Now.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Steps away to his left.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's complete to Diggs. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Get that ball. Get it.
They'll toss it to Henry. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because Every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll let the fullback try and pick it up. This is Anthony Sherman, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Anthony Sherman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, the jet sweep, this is Godwin, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Carr going to throw. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a handoff here to his running back. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Down. 180. 59. So we got man.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
You got to understand situational football, because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game, So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Let's go. 30 base.
Blue Dan.
Hey, Charlie. Ready?
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And that will write a finish to this ball game. They set the goal beginning of the year. Hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they respond as a team. Because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.